Hello everyone, this is Dr. G. Pranita, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, working in Government Degree College for Women, Begumpet, Hyderabad. Now I am going to explain very important topic which is very useful in inorganic chemistry, that is IUPAC nomenclature of coordination compound and also explaining Werner's theory. First we will see what is IUPAC nomenclature of coordination compounds. IUPAC nomenclature is nothing but which was given some rules whenever we are writing the complex name. While writing the complex name, we have to follow that rules. Then what are those rules? Let us see. According to the first rule, IUPAC nomenclature, first rule is whenever a coordination compound is ionic, then first we have to write the cation name, then we have to write the anion name. So this is the representation of any coordination complex. Here this is the cation sphere, whereas this one is the anion sphere. So while writing the coordination IUPAC nomenclature of this compound, first we have to write the cation sphere, then we have to write the anion sphere. And in this sphere, this is called it as a metal ion, and this one is called it as a ligand, and this one is called it as a coordination number, and entire the square bracket is called it as a coordination sphere. And whenever in the writing the coordination complex or metal complex, first we have to write ligands first, then followed by we have to write the metal ion. And if more than one ligand is present in the sphere, then all those ligands we have to write according to the alphabetical order. For example, if you see this example here, this platinum here, it is a metal. Here, this is the ammonia, which is one type of neutral ligand, and it is the chloride, which is a negative monodentate ligand. So here, two types of ligands are present. So according to IUPAC nomenclature, first we have to write ligand name, then we have to write the metal name. But among these two ligands, first we have to write the first alphabetical order. So this is the ammonia or amine, so which is started with the A letter, whereas chloro, this is started with the C letter. So according to alphabetical order, so first we have to write this ligand name, later we have to write this ligand name. So this ligand amine groups, which are total 4 ligands are present. So for 4 ligands are present, whenever 4 ligands are there, then we have to use tetra, and this amine, then this chlorine's total 2 ligands are present, then which is called it as a dichloro, and this metal name is a platinum. Then we have to calculate the oxidation number of this metal. Here it is ammonia is a neutral ligand, whereas chlorines are negative ligand, and also which is a monodentate ligand. So whenever 2 Cls are present, 2 minus charges, and on the sphere which is having plus 2 charge. So minus 2x minus 2 is equals to plus 2. So overall this metal will get 4. And also on the sphere which is having the charge, hence after writing the oxidation number, we have to write ion. And whenever writing the ligand's name, suppose if there is any negative ligands, then for that negative ligands, we have to add suffix as O. That means negative ligands are ended with the O. For example, if you see, these are all examples for anionic ligands. So all these ligands names which are ended with the O. So fluoro, chloro, bromo, iodo, cyano, nitrato, hydroxo, oxo, oxalato, carbonato. Then whenever positive ligands are present, then the name which is suffix we have to add by adding the IUM. So here this is the positive ligand. So for this one we have to write nitroselium. Whereas this is the hydrogen which is having the positive charge. So this ligand we have to write as a hydrogenium. So whenever negative ligands are present, which are ended with the O letter, whereas positive ligands are present, then which are ended with the IUM. And whenever neutral ligands are present, then those neutral ligands we can write as it is. Only few exemptions are present, which are aqua, amine, carbonyl, and nitrosyl. Generally, here it is called it as a water, but in carbonyl chemistry, in coordination chemistry, we have to write it is a aqua. This one is we can generally will say as a ammonia. In while writing the IUPAC nomenclature, we will say amine, and this one also generally we will say as carbon monoxide, but here we have to use as a carbonyl. Here it is a nitrogen oxide, monoxide, but in IUPAC nomenclature in coordination chemistry, we have to use it as a nitrosyl. So these are the few exemptions of the neutral ligands, but remaining all the neutral ligands write as it is. Whenever in the complex, if more than one ligand is present, then we have to use as a prefix. If two ligands are present, we have to add a prefix as a di. If three ligands are present, we have to use prefix as a tri. If four ligands are present, we have to use prefix as tetra, like penta, hexa, so on so. So on. If you see this example here, in this complex, here it is the metal, this is the neutral ligand, this is the negative ligand. Again, with this name, ligand name is amine, this ligand name is chloro. So according to alphabetical order, we have to follow while writing the complex name. So first we have to write this neutral ligand name. So which is total this ammonia, which are present as 2. So we have to add as a di. So diamine. So here chlorine groups are present as 4. So for 4 ligands are present, then we have to use tetra. Tetra, chloro. Then this metal name is platinum. Then the oxidation number we have to write in the bracket, and also we have to write the number in as Roman letter. Here neutral ligand is nothing but no charge. But whereas it is the monodentate negative ligand, so here -4 is the charge of this one, hence metal will get +4. This is the oxidation number. Whereas here no charge on the sphere, so no need to write any ion here. For example, if any complex which containing polydentate ligands, then if the complex is having the polydentate ligand, then instead of using di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, we have to use prefix as bis, tris, tetrakis. For example, if you see this example, in this complex, it is the, here two glycinates ligands are present. This glycinate is a bidentate ligand. So it's already it is a bidentate ligand. So these ligands total 2 are present. So instead of di, we have to use here bis, because it's a polydentate ligand. Whenever polydentate ligands are present in the complex, so instead of using di, tri, tetra, we have to use bis, tris, and tetrakis. So coming to the nomenclature of this complex here, so total 2 ligands are present. So we have to write here bis. This is the negative ligand. So glycinato, because this ligand is ended. And here, and this is the metal, this is the nickel, and this ligand which is having only one minus charge, here which containing two ligands, hence we have to write the oxidation number as 2. This oxidation number we have to write as a Roman letter. Next, whenever metal complex is a cation or neutral, then no need to add any suffix to the metal. That means whenever sphere is cation or sphere is neutral, we have to write the metal name as it is. For example, if you see this complex here, This is the neutral sphere. So here, whenever we're writing the IUPAC nomenclature of this complex, here tetraamino dichloro, the metal name is cobalt, and oxidation number here, it is a neutral ligand. Here total 3 like minus charges are present. So hence metal will get the +3 and outside of the sphere, it is having the chloride. So like this we have to write. Suppose if the sphere is present as negative anion, then we have to add the suffix as 8 to the metal. So here in this complex, here it is a potassium is a positive ion, whereas this sphere is containing the minus charge. So it is a negative sphere. Whenever negative sphere is present to this metal, we have to add suffix as 8. So while writing the complex of IUPAC nomenclature of this complex, we have to write first cation name, then anion name. So first this cation name is potassium. Then in this sphere we have to write the ligands name. This ligands also we have to follow according to alphabetical order. So diamine, tetra, chloro. It is the metal cobalt, but it is a negative sphere. Here we have to add 8. And what is the charge of this complex? Here +2, here -4, +2 and -4. So metal will get +2. So that one we have to write in a bracket. So what is the difference between these two complexes? Here this sphere is in negative, hence we have to add 8 as a suffix to this metal ion. Whereas this sphere is not a cation, or the sphere is not is a neutral. For any cation sphere or neutral sphere, we need not to add any suffix to this metal. We have to write as it is the metal name. And how to calculate the oxidation number of the metal, we will see here. For example, if you first will see this example, in this hexacyanoiron, in this example, we have to calculate the iron oxidation number, that is X. Here cyanide groups, which is the monodentate ligand, each monodentate ligand which is having the 1 minus charge. So total here which are 6 are present. So -6 is equals to on the sphere which is having the -4. Therefore, this metal oxidation number is +2. Similarly, here also in this complex, water molecules are neutral molecules, no charge, whereas 2 chlorines are present and 1 bromine is present. 3 are monodentate negative ligands are present. So -3. Therefore, chromium will get +3 charge. So like that, we can calculate any metal oxidation number in this coordination complex. After calculating this complex, we have to write this complex. While writing the IUPAC nomenclature, we have to write in the bracket, and the number we have to represent as Roman letter. Let us let us practice the IUPAC nomenclature of some complexes. So in this first example here, in this complex, it is the only one type of ligand which is present in the sphere, and which are total 6 ligands are present. Whenever 6 ligands are present, then we have to add hexa. Then it is a neutral ligand, hexaamine, it is the cobalt. So here it is the positive sphere. Whenever positive and neutral sphere is there, then we have to add the metal name as it is. And oxidation number, it is a neutral ligand. So here total -3 ligands, -3, then cobalt will get +3. Then outside of the sphere, there is a chlorides are present. Then we have to write chloride. Similarly, in this complex here, it is also positive sphere which is present on the sphere, but two different types of ligands are present. We have to follow our alphabetical order. So tetraamine dichloro platinum. So calculation of oxidation number here -2. On the sphere it is the +2. So whenever it goes to this another side, so platinum will get +4. And also if on the sphere, if plus charge is present, then after writing the oxidation number, here we have to write ion. Similarly, in this example also, which is also having the plus charge on the sphere, then here which containing only 2 ligands, so by diamine silver, diamine silver, then which is having, which is a neutral ligand, and on the sphere only plus one charge is present. So oxidation number is equal to plus one. Then on the sphere which is having the charge, hence we have to write as a ion. Similarly, in this example also, two types of different ligands are present, aqua ligand and chloro ligands. Aqua, which is started with the A letter, whereas chloro, which is started with the C letter. So first we have to write this ligand name. Next we have to write this ligand name. So tetra, aqua, di, chloro, chromium. And what is the oxidation number here? Because aqua water molecule is a neutral ligand, whereas here two negative ligands are present. Here also one monodentate negative ligands. So -1, -2, total -3. So chromium will get +3. And also outside of the sphere which is having the chloride, hence we have to write chloride. If you see the negative charge which is present on the sphere, so for this one, while writing the IUPAC nomenclature of this complex, here only one type of ligand is present. So hexachloroplatinate. We should not write platinum here, because whenever on the sphere negative charge is present, we have to add suffix as A to the metal, A to the metal. So platinate, and -6 is equals to -2. Then it will become +4. And on the sphere which is having the charge, hence we have to write the ion. So it is example for complex which is having the minus charge. These are all examples for complex which are having the positive charge. These two are example for complex which are neutral. Suppose if you see in this complex, which is a cationic sphere, which is anionic sphere. Whenever cation and anion is present in the complex, first we have to write the cation name, then we have to write the anionic sphere. And this anionic sphere, first we have to write the ligand name, then we have to write the metal name, then we have to write the oxidation number. So what is the cation here? Sodium. Then how many ligands are here? 6. That is hexa, chloro, platinate. Here we have to write, because it is itself it is showing anionic sphere, even though it is not showing any charge on the complex, but if it is any cation is present outside of the sphere which represents it is the anionic sphere, then we have to add suffix as A to this metal, so platinate. Then we have to calculate the oxidation number. Here sodium is nothing but which is +2 charge, whereas chlorium which is -6, -6 and +2, it will give, finally we will get +4 to this metal. Similarly, in this example also, which is also both cation sphere, anion sphere is there. So it is the potassium, and this is oxalate is a bidentate ligand. Whenever polydentate ligand is present, then instead of using di, tri, tetra, we have to use bis, tris, tetra, kis. Here 3 ligands are present, then we have to use tris. So potassium, tris, oxalate, and ferrate, because it's a negative sphere, hence we have to add ferrate. And each oxalate which is having one minus charge, so -3, sorry, each oxalate which containing -2 into 3, which is -6, -6, here 3 plus charges are present, -6 and 3 plus, so here finally iron will get +3 charge. So these are also few examples of writing of IUPAC nomenclature of coordination complexes. Next we will see Werner's theory, which is very important theory, which tells about the Werner. He explains the formation, structure and properties of the coordination compounds. Before Werner, so many scientists did so many experiments, but they couldn't explain. He suggested this theory in 1893, and he was able to explain how the coordination complex will form, and what is the structure of coordination complex, and what are the properties of coordination compounds. He could able to explain. For his achievement, he was awarded prestigious Nobel Prize in 1913. And Werner conducted several experiments on cobalt amines and their isomeric compounds. And according to this theory, Any metal ion exhibits two types of valencies. One is primary valency, another one is secondary valency. First, we'll see what is primary valency. Primary valency is nothing but which explains the oxidation number of metal ion. Primary valency which explains oxidation number of metal ion, and which primary valency which is satisfied by only negative ligands, and this primary valency which is ionizable, and this primary valency which is indicated with the dotted lines. One is primary. What is primary valency? Primary valency is nothing but which represents oxidation number of metal ion, which is satisfied with the negative ligands, which is ionizable, which is represented with the dotted lines. Then what is secondary valence? Secondary valence is nothing but which explains the coordination number of complex, and which is satisfied by all types of ligands like negative ligands, positive ligands, and neutral ligands. And the secondary valency which is indicated with a thick line. Secondary valency thick line, whereas primary valency with the dotted lines. Secondary valence with satisfied with all types of ligands, whereas primary ligand which is satisfied with only negative ligands. Secondary valency is non-ionizable, whereas primary valency is ionizable. And secondary valence which represents coordination number, whereas primary valence which represents oxidation number. In this theory, some of the ligands which play dual role, nothing but they follows both primary valency as well as secondary valency. In this complex here, it is the metal ion, whereas this thick line which represents the secondary valency, whereas dotted line which represents the primary valency. So here, total primary valencies which are present in number 3. So these primary valencies are ionizable, so we have to write outside of the sphere. Whereas secondary valency, so thick lines, total 6 are present, so which represents the coordination number of the complex. So we have to write the inside of the sphere. So by seeing this structure, we can write the formula of the complex. Here cobalt is a metal, so total 6 ammonias are present, which are secondary valency. Secondary valency is nothing but having showing the coordination number, whereas dotted line which represents the primary valency, that means which are ionizable, and also which tells the oxidation number, so which we have to write outside of the sphere. So here 3 primary valencies are there, nothing but this metal oxidation number is +3. So here 6 thick lines are present, that means this metal coordination number is 6. Similarly, in this example also, total 5 thick lines are present, but this ligand which is showing thick line as well as dotted line, which indicates that this ligand is showing the dual nature. That means it's showing the primary valency as well as it's showing the secondary valency. So this ligand we have to write inside of the sphere. Primary valency which are ionizable, which we have to write only outside of the sphere. So for this one, so total 6 coordination number, and also the oxidation number of this metal is +3. If you see in this example, 4 are secondary valency, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is the complete only primary valency, and these 2 ligands which are playing dual role, primary and secondary valency. So these 4 we have to write inside of the sphere. These 2 also we have to write inside of the sphere, whereas this ligand which is connected with only dotted line, so we have to write outside of the sphere. So this one coordination number is 6 and the charge is +3. And Werner's theory also explains about the molar conductivity of the solution. For example, if you see this formula of this complex, we can write this complex as like this. Here, when we dissolve in aqueous solution in this complex, here the sphere won't dissociate in the water. Whenever complex won't dissociate, whenever it remains its properties in aqueous solution, then only that complex is called as a coordination complex. Otherwise, the remaining compounds all, when we dissolve in water, all undergoing to dissociate. Whereas coordination compounds, it won't undergo any dissociation. It remains its properties as well as it remains its structure is called it as a coordination compound. So when we dissolve in aqueous solution in this of this complex here, this sphere will remain as it is, whereas 3 chlorines are present which are undergoing to dissociate. So here this one sphere which is having 1 ion, and here 3 chlorines total, it generates 4 ions. When this complex, when it is reacts with the this aqueous solution, when it reacts with the silver nitrate, here total 3 chlorines are present, so it reacts with the 3 moles of silver nitrate. In this complex, no dual ligands. Here total 4 ions are present, so which produces the more molar conductance. And for example, if you see in this complex here, 5 coordination number which are secondary valency, one is primary valency and secondary valency, which ligand which is showing the dual nature. And two, these ligands are completely primary valency. When we dissolve this complex in aqueous solution, this one sphere, 1 ion, and the remaining 2 ions, total 3 ions. When we react to this aqueous solution with silver nitrate, only 2 chlorines are react. This chlorine won't react with the silver nitrate because which is playing dual role, because which is acting as secondary valency as well as primary valency. Only primary valency ligands only can react with the silver nitrate. Here 3 chlorines are present, which are 3 are primary valency, hence 3 moles of chlorines will react with the 3 moles of silver nitrate. Whereas here one ligand which is playing dual role, hence this ligand won't react with the silver nitrate. Only those ligands which are acting as a primary valency, only these 2 ligands only will react with the silver nitrate. So here only 2 moles of silver nitrate will consume. So total here which produces the 3 ions in the aqueous solution, hence which produces less molar conductance. And in this complex, one ligand which is playing dual role. Similarly, if you take in this example, here no outside of the sphere, no primary valency. No primary valency is nothing but no generation of any ion, only one ion, that is the sphere, and also no reacting up with the silver nitrate because no primary valency is present. So no reaction of silver nitrate, and also here 3 ligands which are playing dual role. One is primary valency as well as secondary valency. Whenever no ions are generated, no molar conductance. Like that, Werner's explained the properties and structure formation as well as how the coordination complex will form with help of by taking the different amino cobalt complexes. And also he could explain the molar conductance of the different types of the complexes. What is the primary valency? What is the secondary valency? He could able to explain. How can we calculate the oxidation number? How can we calculate the coordination? Everything he was explained. So finally, when we take the summary of this today's topic, first we have seen the IUPAC nomenclature of the complex. In this IUPAC nomenclature, we have to follow some important rules. So first point is, first we have whenever cation and anion is present, first we have to write cation name, then we have to write anion name. Whenever in the sphere, if in the sphere, first we have to write ligand name, then we have to write metal name. Whenever more ligands are present in the sphere, those ligands we have to write according to alphabetical order. And if negative ligands are present, those ligands which are ended with O, positive ligands which are ended with IUM, and neutral ligands which we have to write as it is. Only few exemptions are present. And first, after writing the ligands names, then we have to write metal. After that, we have to write the oxidation number in bracket, and that number we have to represent as Roman letter. Whenever on the sphere, if any positive charge is present, after writing oxidation number, we have to write ion. Or negative charge is present, then we have to write ion. Whenever sphere is negative charge, then we have to add 8 to the metal. We have to add 8 to the metal as suffix. And whenever more than one ligand is present, then we have to use di, tri, tetra, penta like that. Whenever polydentate ligands are present in the complex, then we have to use, instead of di, tri, tetra, penta, we have to use bis, tris, tetra, quis. So like this, we have to follow some rules while writing the IUPAC nomenclature of coordination chemistry. So I hope you are all understood the how to write the IUPAC nomenclature of complexes and what is the Werner's theory and how it explains the primary valency, secondary valency and molar conductance. So let us solve some problems. So in this complex, what is the oxidation number of S? Here, because it's a ethylene diamine, it's a neutral ligand. So whatever the charge is present on the sphere, that charge is equals to that metal oxidation number, that is S3. Then what is the nomenclature of this complex? Yes, this is hexa amino cobalt 3 chloride. Thank you for patience listening.